We're already a month away from the halfway point of 2026. It is also the month of my birthday, getting 1 year older, getting more and more washed. But we are here, and for the month of May, there's a lot of sneakers that I'm looking forward to. And red seems to be a very prominent color for this month. So I'm going to go through the sneakers I really want for May 2026. Disclaimer, as always, the release dates on sneakers are very fluid. Some shoes that I don't know about are going to drop in May. Some shoes that are supposed to drop in May are going to get pushed out. So if I miss any, blame the sneaker companies, don't blame me. Here we go. Now first, it is the Jordan 12 Bloodline that is dropping on May 23rd for $215. Now, of course, there was the Jordan 1 Bloodline in 2019. Now they're dumping this colorway on the Jordan 12. The 12s are not like one of my favorite shoes of all time or anything, but when it's a nice colorway, I will try and get it. And a black and red, majority black Jordan 12, I think is very nice. So this just looks very sleek. It looks to have a nubuck upper, the red eyelets up top, as well as the red on that Jumpman tab with the quintessential faux lizard skin on the mudguard on the 12 there. This shoe has been rumored or leaked, I think, for a while now, and it's finally here in May, at the end of May. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if it eventually just got pushed out or doesn't even drop. Happens very often in the sneaker industry. Next up, it is the Foamposite Pro Voltage that is dropping on May 8th for $240. And after 30 years, or nearly 30 years, people are gonna get their first chance to get the first retro of this special colorway. Now, when I reviewed the Foamposite Black Volt a few years ago, I mentioned I'm not like in love with that colorway. I think that neon green type of outsole is just a little bit too much on that shoe. But for this shoe, I think this neon green, just on the swoosh itself, works very well. You'll see it's got like a dark outsole, so it's not too much of that yellowish green color. So look at that medial side. It is just nearly all black with the nubuck eye stays. No 1 cent logos on the pros, of course. No Penny Hardaway tie-in. It looks so good. I've always said for a long time that I am a Foamposite 1 guy over the Foamposite Pros. But recently, maybe because Nike is kind of putting more attention on the pros, and it's obviously working. Recently, I've been thinking, with the swoosh kind of breaking up that Foamposite upper, I might tend to like it a little bit more. And if you're wondering, this is not the only Foamposite Pro on this list. Now next up, it is the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low OG Pink that is dropping on May 22nd for $155. Yet another Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low. Actually, it might be 2 Jordan 1 Lows this time, dropping at the same time. Both variations of pink. I'm still not 100% certain what the colorways will look like. I've seen different variations, but I think there's one with a pink base with a red swoosh, and the other one is like a sail type of base with a sail swoosh. Assuming these are the final versions of the colorways, I'd probably go with the one with the pink base, even though it's maybe a little harder to wear, maybe a bit more out there. I do like how it's slightly more different, and I think that red swoosh breaks it up pretty well. The pink isn't like too bold, like it's not too saturated, it's kind of muted in the pink. Of course, they couldn't help themselves, they had to stick sail on this shoe too. Many of his past collaborations do, with a nubuck base that looks to be pretty nice, as well as the insignia on the back, mismatched branding there on the booty. I keep waiting for people to kind of get sick of Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows, so the prices aren't absolutely bonkers for every single one of them, but at least for now, that doesn't seem to be happening. And next up, it is the Foamposite Pro Gem Red that is dropping on May 29th for $240. Now this colorway actually first dropped in 2015. Some people are dubbing it the Foamposite Red Octobers. Whatever you want to call it, this looks great. I've always been a fan of monochromatic looking shoes. I can't pull them off all the time. Might just be a little bit too much for someone like me that lacks a lot of aura. And that black outline on the mini swoosh I think works really well. Now one thing to note here, the eye stays looks to be kind of like snakeskin. That is slightly different to the 2015 version. I do like that slight switch up though. And then the black and red outsole is just so damn good. But sometimes it's just like looking at an all red shoe like sitting on a shelf, just sitting there. It looks really nice. Same with this shoe. And that leads me to another very red shoe Next up, it is the Jordan 4 Toro Bravo that is dropping on May 30th for $220. Now, this is a colorway that dropped first in 2013. It is probably one of the most popular non-OG colorways ever, but it does look like the red here is more muted, so not as saturated and as bright as the 2013 version. I actually kind of prefer that, just like in a vacuum, slightly more wearable for my preferences. And it does have a full nubuck layer, and I've actually already reviewed this shoe. I will edit it soon, push it out at some point before the release date. It also comes with the Michael Jordan face box, which it didn't come with in 2013. And just like the price shoe on this list, all red shoes or majority red shoes, I might not put on feet a lot, but I will stare at them very often. And next, it is the Jordan 1 Low OG band that is dropping on May 2nd for $145. This is a follow-up of the 2011 Jordan 1 High OG band with the kind of crosses on the heel of the shoe. I've actually already reviewed this, so if you want to know in-depth details, the quality, the design details, check out my review. Now, if you didn't know the history behind the band colorway, originally off the top of my head, October 18th, 1984, Michael Jordan was playing a preseason game against the New York Knicks. He was wearing the black and red airships, and the NBA saw this and was like, this violates our dress code. It is not white enough. So they threatened to fine him $5,000 for every game. Nike was like, we don't give a we'll pay the fine, keep wearing it. Great publicity, and it's become this very often repeated story in Jordan brand lore, even though they often conveniently miss out the fact that Michael Jordan was wearing the airships, not the Jordan 1s at the time. The Jordan 1 was not ready. They'll leave it out for storytelling purposes until they gotta sell you the airships, then they'll tell you the full story. But in general, this is basically the black and red Jordan 1 colorway chopped in half into a low cut. It is my favorite OG Jordan 1 colorway ever, so I love that. They did switch out the Wings logo on the back to the band crosses, which I personally would have preferred if they kept the Wings logo, but I guess I get the storytelling. They do come with crosses also on the inside of the shoe. The insole is also custom, and the materials on these are actually really nice, especially for a Jordan 1 Low. And it does come with a larger swoosh this time, just like the other Jordan 1 Low OGs have been coming in 2026. That is closer to the OG Jordan 1 Lows, as well as 8 eyelets. So I really like this iteration of this colorway. Now next, it is the Nike Air Force 1 Low Last Orgy 2 that is dropping on May 1st. Now it's actually also gonna get a wider release on May 2nd on humanmade.jp as well as undercover stores. I don't think it's gonna get a Nike or sneakers release. Now this shoe is in collaboration with Nigo as well as Jun Takahashi, two giants in the streetwear space. And the name of the shoe, the colorway, it is a reference to their column in the Japanese magazine from back in the day. Last Orgy 1 was actually by their mentor, Hiroshi Fujiwara, who was the founder of Fragment Design. I actually created a whole video about Hiroshi's background and origin and how his story kind of ties in to Nigo and Jun Takahashi. So if you want to know more, definitely check out that video. I don't think people really cared about it, but I thought it was a fun video to really dig into the history of a streetwear legend and how two other streetwear legends kind of fit in. Now, the colors of the shoe is actually directly from the sign of the store Nowhere that Nigo and Jun started back in the day in the Harajuku district, which created like an entire streetwear trend. And you'll see they used the 2001 Air Force 1 silhouette, which has a slightly narrower toe box. They are utilizing pant leather as well. It has Nigo branding on the tongue, LO2 branding on the insoles, again referring to Last Orgy 2, and on the heel of the shoe as well. And it also comes with custom packaging. Now, the Air Force 1s are just the most timeless, classic silhouette ever. I know they're not like super popular right now, but I have stuck with the Air Force 1s forever. It is just one of the most wearable silhouettes. I probably have more Air Force 1s than any other shoe. Like, that's how much I wear them. It just goes with everything. It is not the most comfortable, like on feet. It's kind of stiff, heavy, clunky, but it's timeless. It has always been part of my childhood, part of my teenage years, and it's going to remain part of my adulthood. And at number 2, it is the Nike Huarache 2K4 White and Varsity Red. that is dropping on May 1st for $190. Now that release date, I'm not sure if it's gonna change. I don't see too many kind of details about it or where it's gonna release. So take this with a grain of salt. But May 1st seems like to be the release date for this original colorway from 2004 that actually never was retroed. And anytime the Huarache 2K4s are going to drop in any given month, it's going to be on my list of like a shoe that I must have. It's just a shoe that I grew up really loving. One of the best basketball shoes ever. It really just defined an era for Nike basketball. Of course, it is synonymous with Kobe Bryant. It is not actually part of his signature shoe. It was meant to be, but then at the time, Kobe was embroiled with his court case. Nike thought it wouldn't be a great look, so they just kind of used Kobe as the face of it, similar to how Penny is synonymous with the foams. And look how beautiful this shoe is. The tech is a little outdated, just comes with a Phylon midsole, Zoomier unit in the heel, as well as one in the forefoot. But just for nostalgia's sake, I must get this. And apparently I saw this somewhere. They are bringing back the Penny Hardaway and Sue Bird PE colorways, dropping it for the general public. I absolutely need, especially the Penny PE. That is must have. And at number one, it is the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 brick after brick that is dropping sometime in May for $230. Now, a lot of people are gonna say this colorway isn't really that special. It's kind of an OG colorway with its own spin from Nigel. It's overhyped, but judging from the brick by brick, the first Jordan 4 that he worked on last year, one of my favorite sneakers of the year, the storytelling on those was subliminal. It was great. The materials that came with those, really good too. And I would expect the same for this shoe. I do think I like the brick by brick a little bit more. Like that burnt orange is so nice. But this, just how can you deny it looks good at the very least? Like at the very least, it looks good. Just that colorway on a Jordan 4, just looking at the shoe, it just works. I don't love the sail that's applied here. I don't love the bike care that's on the back, on the booty of the shoe. You do see the suede booty tab that says bike care, as well as the suede hang tag with the addition of the mini swoosh on the forefoot. I think that's a pretty nice addition. There's a bike graphic on the inside of the booty tab. In terms of overall storytelling, I think they're gonna do a great job. And they've already gone to great lengths with that whole sculpture thing that they did in New York City. It was called like the Way to Progress, I believe. And for a while now, Travis Scott has kind of held the most prominent, or I guess the most like hyped collaborator with Jordan Brand. I think Nigel, I think he hasn't missed. Like even back in the day for his Jordan 1s, great. And then the Jordan 4 RM, that takedown model of the Jordan 4, he did a really good job. Brick by brick, of course, one of the best sneakers last year. The Jordan 1 Low cut, that Jordan 1 Low OG that he had as well, really nice as well. And I think he's gonna do great here too. And he might be gunning for that number one spot for number one collaborator for Jordan Brand. It's kind of close. It is definitely kind of close. I probably won't be able to get this shoe. It's gonna go for $1 million, $1 billion, but I will do my best to get my hands on these. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of this list. What shoes did I miss? What shoes do you really look forward to for the month of May? Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes